Stranger, seen my fix? Hope you're about to offer to rid me of this damn fool.
You cannot dissuade an arbiter from their sovereign-given duty, no matter how much of an irritant you may attempt to be. It is good that you have not. Some of my brethren are not as patient as I, especially with outsiders. We are the sovereign's justiciars, tasked with upholding law as we see fit.
And executing anyone who deviates, no matter how slightly they may do so.
You... That is a gross misrepresentation. Everyone at this station has deviated more than slightly, yet I certainly haven't introduced them to my hammer. Career is a word better suited to those corporate invaders. I would describe my work as architect ordained. I came to meet with the information broker for, protectorate business, protectorate reasons. However, I find myself foiled at near every turn. None within the protectorate would defy an arbiter and expect to live. Regrettably, I cannot make the locals see reason without rendering myself unable to learn what I seek.
Even polite entreaties don't see most getting an invite to the broker. And you've been anything but. See, you may have thought you said have an audience, but what you actually said was let him assassinate.
Do I look like a sentinel to you? No, don't answer that. My point is that if I wanted to kill everyone here, we would not be having this obnoxious conversation.
No matter what this fella says, he's not going to convince me to trust him. He's a walking security risk.
Hilarious.
That's funny. That's real funny. Takes a lot to set me smiling. Have a drink on the house. I just had a thought. Might be something that needs looking into. Maybe something that would allow me to make an exception as to who visits the broker? Within the Golden Ridge locale on Dorado, there's a refugee camp. It's unassuming, quiet-like. Most of the folks there just want to be left alone. They see to the few needs they have by working with the broker, but we ain't heard from them in a fortnight and change. Serves to reason something untoward may have transpired there. You see your way to looking into that, maybe we'll talk. That's between them and Sub Rosa. You in or you out? I don't fancy the idea of letting an arbiter loose on our allies without supervision. Might not know you, but anything's better than giving him complete freedom.
I do not take your speaking of me as some kind of pharaoh canid lightly.
Great! Take the lap canid with you. I've had enough of his excitability, and so have my customers.
I don't claim to be pleased with the circumstances surrounding this co-investigation, but perhaps we may surprise one another. I'm Arbiter Tristan Rao. When I was an apprentice, yes, but not since. And certainly never with an outsider. I shall meet you at the camp. Let us hope we both arrive there intact. I shall see you at the refugee camp.
Oh, greetings again. Hope that little day excursion you and I jawed about is going well. Libations or information? What's your poison? Always. For...
So you did come. Good. I'm not partial to working with those given to second thoughts. It seems we arrive on a desolate scene. I don't know what transpired, but whatever it was killed the refugees to a person. As an arbiter, I bear a strong stomach. But if you've any reservations about witnessing destruction visited upon the innocent, you'd best steel yourself. Buck up, compatriot. The only way to discover what happened here is by fording a river of corpses. I've some theories on the refugees' killers, but I remain unsatisfied. Although I am not required to do so as an arbiter, I would care to acquire proof. We operate under the Sovereign's indefatigable will. Thus, we do not need proof. But my training was somewhat unique in that it emphasized the value of thorough investigation. Let us comb the remnants of this charnel house. These people could have been saved. They simply hadn't deviated from the paradigm. Life was this, without the Sovereign's guidance? cannot help but feel a pang for these people, cut down without a hope of defense. We must uncover what transpired here. As an apprentice, I was taught to see investigations through to their completion. Evidence begets evidence and can lead one to uncover further criminal elements. Any further interest is purely academic. Let's hear it. Seems this base has seen its share of destruction. I maintain that it feels deliberate, judging by the still standing buildings. Was there anything remarkable about it? Good observation. Suffice it to say, the Protectorate would not take kindly to such a theft. Did you have anything else? Perhaps it might allow us to ascertain the final moments of the camp's machines. See if any final commands were sent before the camp's destruction. The distinct lack of automechanical corpses around us supports your point. It seems the defenders did not defend. Someone visited much carnage on this place while leaving few signs of their presence. Did you learn anything by examining the body? Death by shotgun, as the wounds appear to me, are often painful, drawn out. Myriad dead refugees killed in a particular way, but only a single destroyed automech. I'm beginning to make a connection. Did you notice anything interesting about it? Meaning its combat protocols were active for quite some time before it was destroyed. Oh? I wouldn't expect a localized transmitter to harbor anything of note. Prove me wrong. The sign that something unusual happened there may fit snugly into our other observations. We shall wait and see. You're certain you've combed the place to your liking? Then let us debrief and see if we can deduce what transpired here. Have you any theories as to what killed these people? I have a strong theory, but there are gaps. I'd like to hear your own analysis, and we may compare where our ideas converge. Although I'm no ballistics expert, the death wounds on the corpses appear to match those inflicted by an automech. Have any theories about the automechs that did this? My thoughts exactly. How do you believe they were compromised? It's too convenient. I submit that the refugees predominantly used the local shortwave tower to control their automechs. The saboteur commandeered it and sent out an override. The only remaining puzzle piece is why. Why go through all this trouble to eliminate a handful of isolated refugees? Agreed. I do believe that relay is of Protectorate make, and the refugees most certainly didn't build it themselves. They were likely Protectorate as well. I hypothesize that they used it to listen in on Protectorate communications, then sold what they learned to Sub Rosa. After the Vox relay's recent destruction, High Command would have ordered a security sweep of all communication systems. This outpost's relay would have returned a signal. Upon learning of this camp's existence, they'd have dispatched a sentinel to cross off any would-be traitors. Hence the destruction we bear witness to. I admire your enthusiasm, but these refugees were traitors to the Protectorate, though I still believe there was a solution here beyond complete annihilation. Now with that finished, Hold. Some things approach. Be ready. I suspect someone has disapproved of our inquiry.
Mobilizing.
Machines return, bent on eliminating any stragglers. To arms!
on their weaknesses. Fortificator at ready status.
To battle!
Target analyzed. Lay down.
That was a hardy engagement. You held your own admirably. These automechs will never be used to perpetrate such heinous acts again. I believe we're at the end of our investigation. The prospect of sharing our findings with the broker isn't terribly appealing, but we've little choice. I will locate my wretched Sub Rosa transport and return to Free Market Station. Pleasure fighting beside you. Be sure you return to Free Market Station to debrief with me. Despite our work here, I somehow doubt the broker would grant an audience to me alone. Go. I shall linger here a tad longer to make sure there's nothing we missed. Then I shall join you.
How are the informant lines treating you? Hear anything good?
Not terribly. My only field
Yeah.
Salutations once more.
Greetings again. Hope that little day excursion you and I jawed about is going well. Libations or information? What's your poison?
The encampment had been razed. I'm sorry to say there were no survivors, but I believe we were able to uncover what transpired. I should add, your observations during the investigation were unexpectedly keen. Working beside you was a pleasure.
I'm surprised. Didn't know if you had it in you, especially with an arbiter in tow. But you got what was needed. Not bad at all. I'd be happy to direct you to the broker. First, though, we've got a small issue. There's a malfunctioning lamp in the basement I need someone to take a look at. Here's a keycard to get you down there. You mind? Just trust me and go give it a look.
Salutations once more.
Greetings. Hope Free Market Station's treated you nice. What can I get you?
Yeah, how about this? I recruited a Protectorate subject direct link from Bastion. Middle of a Protectorate holding.
Think I'll congratulate you for risking your hide to recruit one subject? Forgive me for withholding my applause.
You're jealous of my charms.
Yeah, real jealous. So are the half-dozen AC ad execs I recruited last week. We're all just vomitous with envy.
Anyone had asked me, I had to put the odds of a live arbiter finding his way into my chambers at 1 in a few trillion. Good that you didn't come here for blood, Arbiter Rao. Barney would have sniffed it out and broken you in twain. And I do disdain mopping up Protectorate corpses. My apologies. Barney is sometimes overzealous in the guarding of my body, though when it comes to Protectorate arbiters, it is perhaps warranted.
If you know who I am, you must know why I'm here. My mentor died under vague circumstances, and I desire any information pertaining to the specifics of her death.
Interesting. That question appears to be at odds with High Command's public statement on the matter. Losing faith in your masters?
No. But I cannot shake the sensation that something was awry with her passing. If you know something, tell me. Please.
I could get used to this kind of groveling. Your instincts are right, Arbiter. Though we don't know the specifics, I received information that your mentor's body bore signs of a fight, and a nasty one. Someone killed her.
I shall in time, when fewer prying ears abound.
If that's all, I think you'd best get along. I prefer not to sully my quarters with Protectorate lackeys. Live ones, anyhow.
And I prefer to limit my time with scheming blackguards. Let us take our leave from present company. Speak to me outside, if you would. There's something I'd care to ask you.
Run along now. I've spent more than enough time entertaining wayward sprats.
How's that lone subject of yours working out? Ran screaming back to the Protectorate yet?
Greetings. Hope Free Market Station's treated you nice. What can I get you?
The role of the Arbiter typically does not require the assistance of others. We are expected to act as wholly independent entities. But I fully realize that Had I not your aid today, my investigation's progress would have stalled and withered. During our investigation, I gauged your trustworthiness and did not find it wanting. What say we travel together? I think you have earned forthrightness. I came to Free Market Station to seek the true killer of my mentor, the Supreme Arbiter. Sub Rosa deals in information, and were thusly my best lead on her killer. They gave me less than I'd hoped, but it was at least a start. Unfortunately, I cannot act truly alone. I have no ship, and no support. I do not know your allegiance, and accordingly shall not speculate. Suffice it to say, for now, that I fear the true killer is within the Protectorate. My colleagues have accepted that her death was a natural one. Questioning an explanation of that nature is foolish, dangerous even. Nonetheless, the circumstances of her death trouble me. I cannot allow myself to accept the explanation that's been put forth without investigating to the fullest of my abilities. Utilizing one of our craft for independent purposes would have rendered me conspicuous. I knew Sub Rosa would offer steady transport as long as I paid their exorbitant fees, just as I knew they would collect information on my every movement. But I neither trust them, nor have the funds to continue this relationship for much longer. You, on the other hand, have proven to be a capable partner. I hold my word in highest regard. Were I to pledge allegiance to you, the pact would be nigh unbreakable, barring some extreme action on your part. I will keep to my convictions in any case, but I understand. What instructions would you have me follow? I should have considered this eventuality. I will listen to your words, and I shall follow your orders. I will not assail enemies of the Protectorate without your consent, though I will not like it. But if my sense of duty outpaces my willingness to comply with an order, or if you attack my brethren unprovoked, our relationship will come to an abrupt end. Excellent. I hope our working relationship is most fruitful. I'm sure we shall discover much together.
Rubbing shoulders with Protectorate arbiters now, are we? I'll reserve judgment. Hopefully, he can as well. And miss all this stimulating conversation? Fine. I shall go scrapbook my memorable intercessions, or otherwise reinforce your notion of activities enjoyed by people of my vintage.
Let us be off, Commander. Do I detect a spot of muck on my armor? I shall make a note to cleanse that at my next free moment. Speak freely. Certainly. I consider myself an open tone. Quite well. I am able to uphold justice wherever it may flag. Bolstered, of course, by your steady support. Was there more in this vein you wish to discuss? She taught me all that I know. Her teaching style was stern, but enlightening. If ever I erred, she would teach me to avoid making such a mistake in the future. Though she did not raise me from infancy, I was brought into her tutelage quite early. I spent a great deal of my life looking up to her. Her death weighs leaden on my shoulders. We must find her killer and bring them to justice, lest justice in Arcadia truly fall to ruin. Why, he is of the Matriarch's direct lineage. Only he possesses the understanding to lead us all. Someone not Matriarch ordained would bring the Protectorate to ruin. May his leadership of Arcadia last for many years. I hope someday to be party to his glorious presence. If I had one wish, it would be that he leaned less upon the Consul's guidance. The Sovereign alone knows what is best for Arcadia. Meddlers should not be abided. In every respect, save being humans, and perhaps even that is arguable in the Sentinels' case. Where Arbiters uphold justice and loyalty within the Protectorate, the Sentinels operate on its fringes. They are clandestine operatives, little more than alleyway backstabbers. I find them wholly unnecessary. As you might expect, they are the Consul's pet project. Straightforward. I was trained from a young age under the tutelage of Supreme Arbiter Marthana Andros, alongside my co-protege. Only those rated most highly on the Protectorate Acumen test could be placed even among the ranks of Arbiters. And to be mentored by the Supreme Arbiter herself was a great honor. Moreover, she taught her proteges to seek out evidence before judging as they saw fit, despite the fact that an Arbiter needs nothing of the sort to declare something a crime. As the Protectorate's most elite, we proteges needed to be able to think flexibly and adapt to situations that faced us should they require adaptation. At least, I believe that's why. Would that I could still ask her. Alas. An Arbiter would never abuse their power. Every action we take is on behalf of the Sovereign and upholding the Protectorate. In any other society, I could see such a scenario resulting in anarchy, but the Protectorate is matriarch ordained. Our devotion is ironclad. Why would they need to? The Protectorate provides everything any individual could want. Anything beyond the norm is unnecessary at best and actively traitorous at worst. Ask, and I shall answer.
Greetings! How has the data collection fared? That's hardly surprising, considering the station's predilection for gossip. So long as you provide us the information, we can parse through it and decide fact from fiction. Are you prepared to present what you have learned? Finally, a breakthrough! Let's hear it. How did the ACS free market meet its end? It sounds like Auntie's choice security measures leave something to be desired. I'll mark that down. Aside from the crash, what occurred in the ship's final moments? An incompetent captain and an incompetent crew. Tisk tisk. Last question. Were there any contributing factors to the crash? Anything that might recontextualize what actually happened? Scuttling an entire freighter and killing hundreds, all for a few extra bits. Interesting to know. Thanks to you, my report is complete. Here, something for your considerable help. Auntie's Choice seems to be inundated with its own problems, technical and personnel alike. We should have ample opportunity to use this for propaganda purposes. I am. If Free Market Station survives the war, this will be a very important historical account. But if the Order fails in Arcadia, none of that will matter. I'm just making the most of what you gave me. Oh, I'd be happy to. Anyone willing to further the Order's aims should be treated as a friend, in my mind. Now I need to get this report to my superiors. Thanks again. Thanks for your help.
Just heard back. The higher-ups finally decided to just bury the corpse of that vigilant and move on. Sounds like it was for the best. How were we doing with that vigilant corpse, anyway? Thanks for visiting Free Market Station. Pleasure is all ours.
Glad you stopped by. I had something I wanted to ask you. Now that we're out of pulping distance, are you sure about recruiting that Arbiter? That hammer's a fine piece of weaponry, sure enough. But how much can we trust the hand wielding it? I'm flattered. But if there's any match to be made for a Directorate agent, you've just brought him onto our ship. Armed. Arbiters ain't like us. Facts matter less to them than personal judgments. Once the boulder's going, someone's getting crushed. I've seen it happen more than once. Don't know whether I should laugh or groan. Anyway, there's my piece. Don't say I didn't warn you. I'm guessing you didn't come here to talk about Rao, though. So what's on your mind? Oh yeah? What's needling you? Shit. Knew I was forgetting something. Of course you did. I had some trouble adjusting in the years after Horizon Point. I was in pain more times than I wasn't. Had trouble sleeping. The drinks helped. Until they didn't. Those bottles ain't half full, are they? I appreciate the concern, Commander, really, but there's no problem. You have my word. I'm good. Val'll tell you the same. Besides, I found other ways to cope. Healthier ones. I'm not sure anyone would consider that healthy. When I'm not out there heroically saving the colony, I like to tinker around the ship or work on Val. I exercise. Been considering taking up cross-stitch. What do you think? That was a joke, but always appreciate a vote of confidence. Was there anything else you needed, Commander? Always up for a little backfence talk, though I'm guessing you don't mean Val. Well, he hasn't brought the hammer down upon us yet, so I suppose that's something. I still wouldn't play the odds on him choosing us over the Protectorate if it came right down to it, but I'd be happy to be proven wrong there. Sure thing. I trust you've got particulars in mind.
Arbiter Rao has been admitted to the ship. This unit will proceed with a Protectorate Welcome Protocol, which may include burning, prodding, and/or light electrical shocks. Agent Ibarra refers to this as somatic tolerance testing and really funny. This unit is available to answer any queries. Which member of the Incognito would you like assessed? Arbiter Rao shows a ready commitment to serving Arcadia. However, his loyalty to you is still under assessment. If forced to choose between this crew and the Protectorate, there is a higher than average chance he will defy you, Commander. Under such circumstances, this unit advises inflicting damage to his knees first to reduce mobility. This unit is ready to answer.
We did good by all the folk in Golden Ridge. If we hadn't eased the pressure between the Order and the troops at Outpost Opportunity, the kettle would have blown its top eventually. Instead, the ceasefire can remain in place, and folk can sleep soundly. Thank you. I'm glad those Protectorate folk wised up and went to Fairfield. They're smart, resilient, resourceful. Reckon the Vigilant will need some time to acclimate, but once he realizes the chance he's been given, fine by me. Sure. Got someone in mind? Not only is he a couple smokes short of a pack, he's also insufferable. I try, Commander, but boy, he makes it difficult. Who knows? Could be that he could change for the better if he breaks free of that protectorate nonsense he's intoxicated with. But I won't hold my breath.
Let's see how well you Arbiters know basic history. Who constructed the archive?
The matriarch did, of course. Who else could oversee the creation of such an immense, complex piece of machinery?
Inaccurate. It was Presiding Bishop Audley, the first presiding bishop. The matriarch gave permission, but he's the one who oversaw its actual construction.
I knew that. This is the problem with you mathematical sycophants. There's always some technicality that conveniently proves you right.
Oh, thank you for agreeing I was proven right, Rao. How magnanimous of you. Yes, dear? Anything on your mind? Happy to provide unbiased observational data. You want me to say something nice, dear? He has good taste in adventure serials, I suppose. Otherwise, no redeeming qualities. Inquire away. I may even respond. Very well. Never minded.
This ship is certainly quaint. The grease stains and thrice retrofitted pipes give one the thrilling impression that the ship might burst into flames at any moment. I suppose there's something charming about its lived-in nature. Nevertheless, I have availed myself of the ship's cleaning supplies. Unsightliness is an enemy as sure as any other. Certainly. I consider myself an open tome. Who amongst our motley assortment would you care to discuss? I find Agent Ibarra most curious. His system of values differs from my own, but not so much as I would expect. I look forward to understanding him better. He faces an interesting dilemma as an isolated member of the Earth Directorate. As do you, of course. I hope you both remain steadfast to your values. She is an endearing piece of engineering. Her continued functionality, despite her advanced age, speaks to a skilled caretaker, though she retains certain quirks. Earlier, she bumped into my head, bleating, "Please do your part to keep the incognito clean. Remove any and all foreign mineral deposits." She is an enemy combatant, and were I not in your command, I would be honor-bound to bring her low. Yet, she is also oddly intriguing. She does not possess the scavenger's appetite of her colleagues. Perhaps if I came to know her better, I might, find techniques to use against her fellows. Her decision to break from the corporatists is impressive indeed. I merely hope it does not muddy the waters of her resolve. Marisol possesses a calculating resolve that has nothing to do with mathematics. Had I anything to fear from her, she would have struck already. I can work alongside her, but I shall keep my guard high nonetheless. I have absolutely no inkling whatsoever why you would choose to bring a deranged cultist aboard. Azaz's kind plagued Arcadia even before the invasion. To be forced to call her colleague is almost more than I can bear. I can only hope she does not see it fit to pilot our ship into a rift to sate her own macabre ambitions. Verily, idle gossip hardly suits an arbiter anyhow.
What do you need, Commander?
Such as?
What do you need, Commander? Who exactly?
Tristan's a standard-issue arbiter, albeit with an extra slathering of arrogance, especially when it comes to ensuring the Protectorate's inane laws are followed without question. But as long as that ridiculously large hammer of his isn't pointed in my direction, I could watch him administer justice all day. Though he'd be loath to admit it, his propensity for violence almost matches my own. Such as?